Welcome back, Alpha family. You have made it through the hardest battles you've ever faced, and you stood your ground with every ounce of energy you could muster. The odds were stacked against you, but you never flinched. You kept going because you know that survival's not a luxury, it's a necessity. Every failure, every setback, every obstacle they tried to throw at you was just another layer of armor forged in the fires of adversity. You are no longer the same person who started this journey. You have evolved, and now you're standing at the summit, looking down at those who thought you would fall, those who thought you would quit. They were wrong. You were always meant for this moment. Now listen closely, because this is the moment where you realize that you played your last card, and now they're out of luck. You thought the storm would break you, but you weathered it. Instead, you saw the world trying to swallow you whole, yet you still managed to find a way to keep breathing. They underestimated your will. They thought they could outlast you. They believed your strength would falter in the face of what they unleashed upon you. But you knew better. You knew that deep down, you were never meant to lose. You were always destined for greatness, and they failed to recognize that power within you. When you reached the edge of the abyss, you didn't retreat. You didn't beg for mercy. You didn't ask for a way out. You took that final step and embraced the fall. Not because you were defeated, but because you were ready to rise, even higher than before. It's always the hardest when you're standing alone, when the world has turned its back, and the weight of your choices bears down on your soul. But let me tell you this, there's no greater power than knowing you have no one to rely on but yourself. When there's no safety net, no backup plan, no second chances, that's when you find out what you're truly made of. And it's in those moments that your greatest weapon is forged. Your mind, your will, your desire to survive and to conquer every enemy in your path. You learn that no one is coming to save you. And that was the best lesson you could have ever received, because it made you realize something far more valuable than any external help could provide. It made you realize the power of your own resilience, your own drive, and your own relentless determination. Now look around, because everything has changed. Those who once thought they could break, you are now facing the consequences of underestimating your power. They've made their moves and they've played their hands, but they don't know what. Now they don't see the storm brewing within you. They don't feel the fury that you've been nurturing in the silence of your struggle. They don't realize that you have already won the war. They thought they had you cornered, but now they're the ones who are trapped. They thought they could predict your next move, but they were too slow. They thought they could take everything from you, but they've only given you more fuel to burn. And now that you've played your last card, they are out of luck. They have no moves left, and they are powerless in the face of your relentless will. When you've been to hell and back, you stop fearing anything else the world can throw at you, because you've seen the worst of it. And you know it's nothing compared to what you're capable of overcoming. The battles you fought, the sacrifices you made, the blood, sweat, and tears you spilled, they've all brought you to this point, and now you're untouchable. The forces that tried to break you never knew they were dealing with a force of nature, because you've become something greater than what they could ever imagine. You've become a living testament to what happens when someone refuses to bow down, when someone refuses to be broken, when someone takes their pain and turns it into a weapon to destroy everything in their path. You've earned this moment. You've earned the right to stand tall and look down on those who doubted you, because the truth is, they were never on your level. They never understood the depth of your ambition or the scope of your vision. They were playing checkers while you were playing chess, and now the board is empty and they are left scrambling to figure out how to survive in a game they can no longer play. They tried to write your story, but they didn't realize that you were the one holding the pen all along. And now, they're watching as you write your own ending, one that is not defined by their limitations or their expectations, but one that is defined by your will, your hunger, and your unrelenting drive to prove that nothing and no one can stop you. There's no turning back now. The moment has arrived and the world is watching, because they know the truth. You've become a force that cannot be reckoned with. You've played your last card and now you're in control. The ones who once thought they had the power, they thought they could dictate your fate. They thought they could force you to kneel. They are now seeing firsthand the consequences of underestimating someone like you. The rules of the game have shifted and you're the one holding all the power. And they are the ones who are powerless. You've outplayed them. You've outlasted them. And now you're poised to take everything they tried to take from you, and more. They're out of luck, and they know it. But don't think for a second that this is the end, because this is just the beginning. You've reached the pinnacle, but the climb has only just begun. Now that you know the taste of victory, you will never settle for anything less than absolute domination, and the world will bow before you, because they will see the path you've carved. They will see the bloodshed, the sacrifices, the battles you fought, and they will know that you are unstoppable. You will rise higher and higher, because there's no limit to what you can achieve when you have no fear, when you have nothing left to lose, and when you've already faced your darkest hour and survived it. Understand this. Now, the people who thought they could break you, who thought they could erase you, they've only pushed you further into the fire. They've only fueled the beast within, and now they will witness the consequences of their actions as you rise like a phoenix from the ashes. Stronger than ever before, they played their hand, but they didn't know you were always one step ahead. They thought they had you figured out, but they were nothing more than pawns in your game, and now the game is over for them. And you are the one standing victorious, as the alpha of your own destiny. They thought they could defeat you, but they didn't realize that their defeat was already written in the stars, because they were never meant to win against someone like you. You've played your last card, and now they are the ones who are out of luck. They are the ones who will have to live with the consequences of their arrogance and their ignorance. They are the ones who will crumble under the weight of their own mistakes, while you continue to rise and conquer, because that is your destiny, and no one can take that from you. So take a moment to breathe in the air of victory, because you earned it. But don't forget that the battle is never truly over. The world will always try to tear you down. It will always try to challenge you. But you now know that you are invincible, because you have already conquered the hardest fights. You've already faced the darkness and come out the other side stronger than ever before. And now the world will know your name, because you are a force that cannot be ignored. You are a testament to what happens when someone refuses to back down, when someone refuses to surrender, when someone plays their last card and takes control of their own fate. So, take your place at the top, because you deserve it. You are unstoppable. And now they are out of luck. The people who thought they could break you, thought they had your number, thought they could predict every move you'd make, and thought they could crush your spirit with their petty games and underhanded tactics. They played the cards they had, all their tricks, all their deceit, and all their manipulation. But in the end, none of it mattered. It was never enough to take you down, because they didn't understand one key thing about you. Your resilience is unshakable, and your will is ironclad. They came at you with everything, didn't they? They hit you with their worst, their most cunning, their most ruthless attacks. They thought you'd cave in, that you'd fold under the pressure. They thought you'd become their pawn, that you'd fall into line and let them dictate your fate. But instead, you stood your ground. You looked them in the eye with a quiet fury burning within you, and you made them realize something they never expected. You were playing a game that was far beyond their understanding. They thought they were playing chess, but you were playing a different kind of game altogether. A game that they didn't have the skills, the vision, or the strength to comprehend. When they realized they couldn't break you, when they saw that their efforts were futile, they thought they could push you aside, make you irrelevant, try to wipe you off the map entirely. They underestimated the fire that burned inside you. They underestimated your capacity to keep moving forward, even when it seemed like everything was stacked against you. They didn't understand the depth of your fight, your hunger to survive and to rise again. And because they couldn't see that, they made a fatal mistake. They underestimated you, and that's where they lost. That's the moment they sealed their fate. They underestimated the power of someone who has nothing left to lose and everything to gain. This is the reality they now face. They are out of luck. They've played their hand, and there's nothing left for them to do. They thought they could control the game, thought they could control the outcome. But they never had control. They were never the ones truly in charge. It was always you. You were always the one who controlled your destiny, even when it didn't seem like it. You were always the one who had the power to turn the tide in your favor. And now, they are forced to watch as you rise. They don't have the strength, the vision, or the will to stop you. The cards they've played have all been dealt, and they're out of moves. What's left for them now? To watch as you ascend to heights they never even dreamed of reaching. To watch as you take everything they tried to take from you and turn it into something greater than they could ever imagine. You've learned the truth, and they will too. You cannot be defeated. The very forces that tried to break you have only made you stronger. The darkness they threw at you only illuminated your path forward. Every obstacle they put in your way only gave you the opportunity to prove to yourself that you were built for this. They gave you the power to transform every setback, every failure, into the fuel for your next victory. They thought they could keep you down, but what they didn't know, what they didn't understand, is that you were always a phoenix waiting to rise from the ashes. They pushed you to the edge, thinking that would be your downfall, but instead you spread your wings and soared. They thought they could bury you, but they didn't realize you were a seed meant to grow into something untouchable. And now, they're the ones who are left in the dust. They're the ones who are stranded at the starting line, looking at you as you pass them by. They're the ones who are out of luck, and they will be left in awe of the strength they never saw coming. They were so focused on their own schemes, so blinded by their arrogance, that they couldn't see the power they were up against. They couldn't see the relentless force that was brewing within you, the quiet determination that was silently growing until it was ready to explode. You didn't have to shout. You didn't have to boast. Your actions spoke louder than words ever could. You didn't need to make a spectacle of your journey, because the results, your results, spoke for themselves. Now, as they look at the wreckage of their plans, as they see the mess they've made of their own futures, they realize they were never dealing with someone who could be broken. They were dealing with someone who had already broken every chain they tried to wrap around you. Now, it's time to let the world know who you really are. Not the version of you that they tried to define, not the image they tried to paint of you, but the real you. The one who stands tall, unyielding, unapologetically powerful. This is your time to rise, to claim everything that is rightfully yours, to take back everything they thought they could take from you. They thought they could hold you down, but now they're out of luck. You're the one in control. You've flipped the script. You've taken the power back into your own hands, and now they have no choice but to watch as you rewrite the rules of the game. But let me tell you this, This is just the beginning. Don't think for 1 second that this victory marks the end of your journey. No, you've only just scratched the surface of what you're truly capable of. The world hasn't seen anything yet. They may have underestimated you before, but now that they've seen what you're made of, they'll never forget it. And you know what? You don't need them to. You don't need their approval, their validation, or their recognition. The only thing you need is your own unwavering belief in yourself. That's all that has ever mattered. And with that belief, there is nothing that can stop you. You've played your last card and now they are out of luck. They thought they could outplay you, outsmart you and break you. But they didn't know what they were up against. They didn't know the depths of your resolve. And now, as they stand there, helpless, watching you rise to heights they never thought possible, they'll realize the one truth they tried to ignore all along. You were never meant to lose. You were never meant to be defeated. You were always meant to stand tall, to take what's yours, and to conquer the world in ways they could never imagine. So stand tall, Alpha. Stand tall, because this moment is yours. You've fought for it, you've earned it, and now the world will bear witness to your victory. They played their last hand, and now they are out of luck. And you're just getting started. The journey you've walked, the struggles you've faced, and the battles you've fought, that was just the prelude, the beginning of something far greater than anything you've encountered so far. For the first time in your life, you understand that true power comes not from avoiding the pain and struggle, but from embracing it, understanding it, and using it to fuel your every move. And now that you've reached this point, where the very foundation of your adversaries crumbles beneath your feet, it is time to expand your vision. This is the start of a new chapter. The world will feel the weight of your ambition, and there's nothing anyone can do to stop you. You've proven to yourself that when it feels like everything is against you, that's when your true strength emerges. When the world told you to back down, you stepped forward. When the voices of doubt screamed louder than ever, you found the strength to drown them out. And now, you stand tall, unwavering, unbroken, and ready to conquer. Your enemies? They thought they could keep you small. They thought they could restrict you. They thought you'd be just another casualty in their twisted game. But you, the one they so misjudged, have risen from their ashes, stronger than they could ever have anticipated. For too long, they thought they had control. They assumed they could dictate the terms, set the limits, and force you to comply with their vision. But now they've seen the truth that was hiding in plain sight all along. You were never the one to follow anyone's rules. You were never the one to play by anyone's standards. You've always been the one who writes your own narrative, creates your own rules, and paves your own path. The chains they tried to bind you with couldn't hold you. The limits they tried to impose were nothing more than illusions. You've already shattered them, and now you are free to carve a future beyond their wildest dreams. And theirs, beyond their worst fears. The pressure you've been under, it only sharpened you. It made you more dangerous, more focused, more relentless. While they thought they were putting you down, they were really sharpening your edge, tempering your resolve. They were training you, preparing you for this very moment. And now, they're about to witness the full force of your awakening. The power that's been building inside you, the hunger that's been quietly simmering beneath the surface, is about to be unleashed in a way they can't even comprehend. Every defeat they tried to impose upon you has only served to make you more formidable. Every setback they threw in your way has only added to your momentum. And now, the time has come to take what's yours, to take everything they've been foolish enough to think they could take from you. But here's the thing, this moment is just the beginning. Sure, you've played your last card and now they are out of luck, but the future? That's where the real test lies. Because now, you've got to rise higher, push further, and break through barriers that most people would never dare to approach. You've already faced the storm. Now, it's time to chase after the calm, the victory that comes not from surviving the chaos, but from thriving in it. You're standing on the precipice of something much greater than you ever realized. You're not just a survivor now, you are a conqueror, and it's time for the world to witness what that looks like. Understand this, your enemies, the ones who plotted against you, who attempted to force you into submission, they thought they could play the game with you. They thought they could dictate the terms of your existence. But now, they're facing the brutal reality that you've always been in control. You've always held the cards, and they were too blind to see it. They didn't realize the power you held within yourself. They didn't understand that your strength wasn't based on their approval, wasn't rooted in their acknowledgement. Your power was always yours, carved through every battle you fought, every wound you endured, and every sacrifice you made. It wasn't their choice whether or not you would rise. It was yours. And now, you've taken the reins. It's time to remind them of who you are. It's time to make them see that you're not some mere mortal in their game. You are a force to be reckoned with. You are the storm they didn't see coming. You are the fire they failed to extinguish, and as you rise to take everything you deserve, they'll be left looking on, unable to do anything but watch in awe. You've crossed every boundary, surpassed every expectation, and shattered every limitation they tried to impose upon you. And now, you're not stopping, you're just getting started. The world can be a cold, cruel place, but it's also a place of incredible opportunity for those who are bold enough to seize it. And boldness? That's something you've mastered. You know the game, you know the rules, and you know how to break them when necessary. You've learned that there's no such thing as failure, only lessons. The failures you've experienced in the past were merely stepping stones, each one bringing you closer to this moment. And now you are standing on the other side of those failures, stronger, wiser, and more determined than ever to seize what's rightfully yours. As you look at the path ahead, it's clear that there are still challenges to overcome. There will always be obstacles, always be those who try to bring you down, who try to stop you. But now, you understand something that they don't. You are untouchable. You are unstoppable. The fear that once held you back has been replaced with a quiet, unshakable confidence. And no matter how hard they try, no matter how many tricks they pull, no matter how they scheme in the dark, they will never be able to touch you again. You've played your last card, and now they are out of luck. Now is the time to push beyond everything you thought was possible. You've already proved that you can survive. You've already shown the world that you will not be defeated. But now, it's time to prove that you can thrive. It's time to show them that not only are you still standing, but you're also taking over. You will make your presence known in every room you walk into. You will dominate every space you occupy. They will remember your name, your face, your vision, and your relentless pursuit of greatness. And they will know that they made the biggest mistake of their lives when they underestimated you. The battles are not over, but they are about to become a whole lot easier for you because you've learned something priceless along the way. You've learned how to fight. You've learned how to win. And now you know that every challenge, every fight is just another opportunity to prove yourself. You've already won the hardest fight of all, the fight for your own belief in yourself. And once you have that, there's no limit to what you can accomplish. Don't let up. Don't slow down. Now that you've conquered the biggest battles, now that you've faced the darkness and emerged victorious, there's nothing left that can stand in your way. Take what's yours. take it all. They thought they could break you. They thought they could make you quit. But look at you now. You are a force to be reckoned with, and nothing, not a single person, not a single obstacle, will stop you. You're just getting started, and the world has no idea what's coming next. Hold your head high. Own your power. And keep pushing forward, because what you're capable of is beyond anyone's imagination, even your own. The game is yours, and the world is about to learn exactly who you are. In the end, remember this. The world tried to break you, tried to bring you down, but you rose. You've played your last card, and now they're out of luck. What lies ahead is yours to claim, and there's nothing that can stop you. You've proven your strength, your resilience, and your unyielding will to succeed. Now, the world will witness your ascent. You are unstoppable, and this is just the beginning. So keep pushing, keep rising, and take what's rightfully yours. Your destiny is yours to define.